Hello, hello. So, I'm back. And today I'm going to be talking about everything from mental, spiritual, and self care, yoni maintenance, all of that in one on Yoni Talk TV. My name is Alexandria, and I have notes. So I will be looking down or over to the side. But I want um, this information to get out and more women to be okay with talking about their womb, yoni, vagina, all of that. It needs to be talked about more because women that have had multiple children already and they still think that they pee and bleed from the same hole is not something that should be going on in this day and age, I feel. So that's where education comes in. So I will be doing different topics in the videos and just bringing on different guests and just putting out as much information as I can to help other women. Um, let's see. So, Kegels, fun things they can be. But if you have pelvic floor issues, it can be the wrong thing to do. Kegels do not fix everything. Sometimes they can make things worse. So, after having a baby, you should go and see a pelvic floor therapist. Um, you can get referrals from your OB. Um, some insurances, you don't have to have a referral, but again, you have to talk to your insurance company and see what all is supposed to happen through that process. Um, pelvic floor therapy is great. If you're squirting out little bits of pee when you sneeze or you cough, that's a definite sign that you need to go and see a pelvic floor therapist. Um, if you laugh, you're squirting out pee. Yes, definite. Um, if you feel loose, like your vagina is just gonna plop out of your opening, yeah, that's definitely uh, um, a sign that you need to go and see a pelvic floor therapist. Um, and there are super easy techniques to help bring all of that back in. But all of this also goes back to postpartum care after you have your babies. So, a lot of communities do the 40 days where the mom is in the house with the baby for 40 days. She has people coming over to her. They do the belly binding, they do the um, womb steams, the yoni steams, the herbal teas, the broths, the soups, keeping her warm, doing the closing of the bones. That's a good one too. And um, all of those things help pull you back together because when you have a child and when you're pregnant, your ligaments, they like literally just decide to detach and spread and expand to make room for the baby. And then after you have the baby, everything is all over the place and it's just not back together right away. Um, so if you're able to find a doula, postpartum doula, or a naturalist, that can help you get all of that together, please do your research and talk to different people in your community. Like, that's one thing that has totally gotten away from us is the whole community aspect. The whole village, it takes a village to raise a child. But now, like, we don't even know our neighbors. Like, I literally have no clue who our neighbors are. So I'm one of the ones that I'm talking to. So definitely, if you don't have your go-to people set up while before you have your baby, make sure you get all of that in order. The ones that you can call on so you can take a shower real quick. Like, it's as small as that, but it needs to happen. So many women go through postpartum depression and then also psychosis. So that's a whole thing in itself where some women literally don't see outside for 6 months because they're literally in the house with their babies. And that's not healthy. So making sure you're checking on your pregnant friends, new moms, especially the new moms, and then moms that have children already. It's just, we need that help. And sometimes asking for that help is not easy. So that's why I'm saying check on mom friends. You know how it is yourself. Even if you're going crazy and you're like, okay, I'm going crazy. Maybe I should go see if one of my other friends are going crazy and we can go crazy together. But at least you have someone to talk to. That is the key. Having someone to talk to, being open about your feelings, um, and just being real about everything that's going on. If you're feeling some type of way, having someone to talk to about that. If you're super excited and happy about something that your child did, having someone to talk to about that is super important. Um, it's just those little conversations, those talks, they need to happen. And a lot of women are not doing that. But I see that we're also getting back to that, which is important. Totally great. And talk about that. Oh, yeah. So, self-care. And I'm not talking about just taking a bath because that should be automatic. Like, we shouldn't be like, yay, I'm excited that I got to take a bath. Like, no. We as moms should be able to just hop in the bathtub daily. Take a bath, relax, have your Epsom salt, have your magnesium salt, and journal during that time and just relax. If your children are little and you don't have your partner living with you, that's when you have to do it while they're asleep. Because that you time is so important. Um, it literally took me some time to get back to that after having my boys. Because with Z, I would just hop in the shower or hop in the tub with him, and that would be my relaxed time. So I thought. Then after I had Zayden, yeah, I saw that I actually needed that time by myself for me, and it totally makes a difference. Bring a glass of wine with you, have music on, but definitely having your own time relaxing is so important. Um, And it's literally the little things, but they mean so much. So much. And I've also, oh, Yoni Stains. Wonderful things they are. So when it comes to Yoni Stains, what is a Yoni Stain? So a Yoni Stain is different herbs you put together, you boil it like a tea, you let it cool off. Come on, please let it cool off. Like, don't sit over something that's like boiling hot. I'm gonna need common sense, okay? I'm gonna need common sense. Let it cool off. Um, and then there's Yoni steam seats. Um, you put the Yoni steam seat over the toilet, or some people have the Yoni boxes. Some people just use a bowl and they just get on their knees and sit over it. But what you do is you cover the bottom half of yourself, towel, blanket, most of the time a blanket, or you have the Yoni steam covers. It's like a dress. It goes covers your boobs, goes down, and you sit there 10, 15, 30 max minutes, and you let the steam just go in to your womb. Most women after that, they're like super moist. Some women have discharge. Some women feel tightening. Like all of that depends on what herbs you use. And um, that's like the key is making sure you know what herbs you're using. You don't need 15, 20 different herbs when you're doing a yoni thing. Um, if you keep it simple, straight to the point, that's that's really what you want to do. Talking to an herbalist that knows how to help you with any issues that you have when you want to do a yoni thing is important. Um, and herbalists that use yoni steams themselves, me, I totally love yoni steam. That's literally why I started doing yoni steams for my clients because it helped me so much. And then introducing it to my doula clients was like a no-brainer for me. Um, so it's so important. And what else? I literally have gone through all of my Yoni Detox Pearls. That's another thing. So with Yoni Detox Pearls, um, those are just literally herbs ground up in a little ball. You insert it, and what it'll do is it will pull out the toxins that you have in your body. So I started them after I had my IUD in for 8 years. Well, I had one in for 5 years, had that one taken out, and then put the other one in, and that was in for 3. And it got to the point where I was just in pain. I wasn't having any cycles, but I was in pain monthly, and I wasn't used to that. I had gone to my OB, told him, he did the ultrasound, said everything was perfect. I'm like, okay, I want it out. For the OB to say no, I should just keep it in and that pain is normal. And I'm like, no, it's not because I've had it in for this long and now all of a sudden I'm in pain. That was number one, where I wasn't really going to deal with that anymore. So I was working at the hospital then too. So I had talked to one of the ER doctors, and he said, "You do know you can take it out yourself, right?" I was like, "Is that easy?" So I YouTubed. YouTube is wonderful. And I got the gloves from the hospital, of course. And I decided to take it out myself. And it really wasn't hard because I already felt where the string was. Like, I was already used to checking for my string and making sure like it wasn't like gone. Um, so I was already used to doing that. And once I was able to grab the string, I literally just pulled it out and it was wonderful. After that, I had been having um cycles, but they weren't, I wasn't in pain anymore, but they weren't consistent and slightly all over the place. I didn't like that part. So I had actually um talked to a few women, found out about the Yoni Detox Pearls, ordered some, and I was using them every month for a year. Um, and cycle was literally 3 days. And at the end of my like year long of doing it, um, light, I used my menstrual cup, and for the most part, they were like 3 days and like wonderful. And I introduced Yoni Stains after the Yoni Detox Pearls. I started learning more about natural uh, herbalists, different ways of healing yourself. Then I got into doula work and got certified as an herbalist, got certified as a doula, and now I'm here. And 2 kids later, now I'm here. But after having my sons, that's when I learned a whole lot more about the postpartum part and how women need that. Like, it's not even a second thought about that now. It's like your postpartum care needs to be on your list at the top before a baby shower. I'm just saying. It makes no sense to have a baby shower and then you're at the house by yourself freaking the fuck out. Okay? Just makes no sense. So make sure you have your postpartum care lined up before you have your baby shower. Um, yeah, getting gifts, fun, woohoo. But it is not fun. Like I said, you're sitting at the house by yourself with the baby's crying, and you're crying. It's not a pretty sight at all. Um, Having to come in and check on a woman because her friends that were out of state hadn't heard from her in a few days is it's not a pretty sight to go in and see someone freaking out and you don't even know this person, but you're going in because their friend is saying they need help. So please make sure you set up your postpartum care. Set it up from meals to make sure at least one person comes to your house twice a week, even if it's just for a high and by. But someone to see you, know that you're still okay mentally is so important. And postpartum hair loss. everyone is saying, oh, that's normal. That is so common. But that doesn't mean that that is healthy. So when it comes to postpartum hair loss, that just means that you're not getting the nutrients that you should be getting. Um, your body is lacking something. It could be your thyroid that's not regulating correctly. It could be that you're just not getting enough magnesium or enough iron or literally vitamins. It could be any of those things. So I recommend for my clients when they go for their 6 week visit to ask the doctor to do a blood panel and see where their levels are. Make sure they get your thyroid checked. You have your hormone panel and you add on thyroid check. It's so important to know where your levels are, because then once they see that your levels are off, you can get the vitamins and nutrients that you need in your body, and then you can avoid postpartum hair loss. Some women, they have like huge chunks just gone, and that should not be considered a normal. It should be like a red flag that something is off in your body, and you should want to go and get that checked. So, putting that out there. If you have hair loss after you have had your baby, go and get your blood work done. Get it checked, see what's going on with your body, then you can fix it. That's like literally the main thing. The spiritual aspect of the yoni. Yay, us. So, with our wombs, yonis, vaginas, all of that space literally holds memory. So, if you are in pain there a lot, if you have cysts, you have fibroids, if you have endometriosis, if you have anything going on in that space, all of that is trauma, pain, memory related. And when it comes to the spiritual aspect of it, you are going to have to do the work. And that's where a lot of women kind of avoid it. But you kind of can't anymore, because it's just not going to help you heal. And the work doesn't even have to be that hard. It can literally be breath work. I do hypnotherapy. I do breath work. I do womb massages. I do yoga. And I do mental work on my womb. And doing all of those things help. You don't have to do all of them. But for me, that's what helps me. And it literally has to be done. Like, it's not you can avoid it. No, if you have any of those issues, you have to do the womb healing. Because surgery is not going to stop the fibroids from coming unless you get the whole hysterectomy, and that's a whole nother subject. But no, you don't have to get a hysterectomy just to stop fibroids. No, if you do the work, you can stop the fibroids yourself and not have to deal with it anymore. And let's see, what else? I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. So that's just like a gist of what Yoni Talk TV will be about. And just, it'll be that and more. I'll go into more detail about everything that I talked about today. It will be an every Sunday thing. 1:30 ish, and just coming on different people talking about different things, but the main thing is to talk about your yoni, learning new things, healing yourself, and not just talking to um not just talking to um just women. Our daughters need to be in on this too. Like, they should know about their bodies also. So don't hide it from them. Let them know. A child should not have to find out about her period while she's at school and then she's bleeding, like, and freaking out. Like, no. So make sure we're talking to our children about this. Like, oh my gosh. Just please make sure. That's the saddest thing ever to hear about. But um those are the main things. Like I said, those are the main things that I'll be talking about on Yoni Talk TV. Other things will be added. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Yoni Talk TV out.